Oh, and by the way, I do apologize with the forms of the lack of game audio recently for the sake of the forms of this particular recording session. Ever since in the first half of the forms of Bowser's Warped Orbit, by the way, because I have no idea why it decides to able to actually cut out one of my, or actually, kind of think about it, it was actually muted the actual beginning portion of the board. So I do apologize for that. I'm blaming on the forms of the technical difficulty with that particular thing itself, and it's pretty much too late to me to fix it. So as a result though, unfortunately though, we have to cope with this, I'm afraid. So, in fact, kind of think about it, it does remind me of the forms of how it does it on, oh sweet, I got myself a DK space. So hopefully, I should get myself a freebie star while meeting with him. Still, with that particular, you know, with the satellite hover thing that he's got on top of that it does look pretty cool and satisfying. So anyway though, yeah, because, as I said, it's a bit too late for now for able to actually fix this problem, because, well, the only thing I was a little bit worried about is the fact that if we try to able to actually decide able to do the extra stuff for Mario Party 8, then my biggest fear is the fact that, relatively speaking, if some recording sessions have been messed up, well, unfortunately though, is the fact that it might not actually consider this to be the actual main element of successfulness for that part. So, yeah, I do somehow apologize for this point right there, because that's the only thing I forgot to tell you guys, because I double checked on it, and it seems like that I've lost my game audio for the sake of the forms of, well, luckily it's in the beginning portion of the first half of the forms of the entire board, so that doesn't hurt me too much, but it's just a little bit of annoying and inconsistent, especially noticeable about, well, it does remind me of back in the old days where we did manage to make certain videos back in 2014, despite the fact that those videos are no longer there anymore, just because of the forms of how the fact that with bad quality, and especially noticeable with how bad the commentary is. Well, don't get me wrong, that the quality itself back in the day is okay. Well, nothing compared to the forms of how it does it in present day, mind you. But it's just the fact that every time whenever we're able to decide to actually just to capture certain footage for specific stuff, let's just say, for example, on the forms of, well, let's just say back in the day in 2014, we're about to able to wrap things up for the likes of Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox 360 version of the game. And then, if you're about to be able to actually just to notice that, for some reason, on the beginning portion of the video, just seems to lost the actual audio, both commentary and game audio included. So because of that though, it's kind of annoying honestly, but hopefully during the later days to come, then hopefully I need to double check on certain things. Well, thankfully though, is the fact that the majority of the video thankfully got the actual, the game audio from the likes of the forms of been yesterday, to be more specifically in turn 5 and onwards, so yeah, I guess that makes it totally obvious. So I blame on the forms of the technical difficulty for that particular, the problem with that though. But I digress. So, sick and twisted again. So, at least that was actually our, I would say the 6th time playing this, I'm pretty sure. Oh, first I thought my game crashed. But thankfully it didn't, so that pretty much explains about the fact that sometimes Wii discs every now and then seems able to load, sometimes fast, whilst most of the time it loads a little bit tad long, especially noticeable in other games like, let's just say, Super Smash Bros. Brawl sometimes, and even especially noticeable with the forms of Okami from the likes of the Wii version, so I digress. So yeah, a few things I want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's day is of course the 8th of May today, in this case in 2022 today. So recently until today though, while I was about to be able to actually prepare for myself for able to actually go into the cinema again after the events of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, because I'm about to be prepared for myself to able to actually just to see the next film I'm about to be watching in the cinema, which appears to be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So I'm very hyped about the film, so hopefully once I'm done with this particular recording session, which is today, and then hopefully I should be able to be prepared to able to actually watch this amazing Marvel film coming up. Well, it already released ever since about 2 days ago, so I'm really excited able to actually watch the film after the events of watching let's just say recently I just watched, well, if you're following through our certain parts of Kirby and the Forgotten Land Let's Play so far, then you do realize about the fact that recently I just finished watching, not only What If, but also, let's just say Moon Knight. So, and I really enjoyed those two specific, Disney Plus exclusive series, for that matter. So, yeah, that pretty much explains it from here. And oh sweet, I've managed able to land in myself a lucky space. So, yeah, pretty swell I have to say. Especially noticeable after, like, getting screwed over sometimes. But, hey, at least on the upside is the fact that I'm gonna be safe for now while trying to able to obtaining certain special candy from the likes of Bullet Bill candy or the Bowser candy and stuff like that. It all depending on the forms of some randomness is involved. So, yeah, you get the idea about that. So, and then on top of all that stuff though, just grab some more coins in the process. So hopefully, if I come across into more coins from here, then I should be able to actually buy some of these expensive items. Assuming if I was trying to able to get back to first place, although mind you, I'm still in third place at the moment, so relatively speaking, that the actual pricing is a bit in a bargain sale. So at the very least, though, that might be something worth a considerate. So, and it looks like Waluigi just somehow let Bowser decides to able to switch the actual direction of the map. So. And unfortunately though, that he didn't seem to able to get Wario for that matter, so kind of unfortunate for Waluigi's luck part, but still. And it looks like Luigi gets a 10. And he buys something for 5 coins, which is of course twice candy, so to be expected with most opponents every now and then, so. Alright, so it looks like Luigi got himself the bullet candy, and he's probably gonna get rid of the vampire candy, so I guess that makes sense, because obviously he's probably gonna save it up until until the next turn anyway. If Waluigi was involved, then he's probably gonna steal a star from Waluigi, so yeah, I can see why that most computer players attempt to do this, so. Alright, so meanwhile for Wario, he's probably gonna use his bullet candy. At least luckily, I'm still pretty much safe from the likes of the forms that Lucky Route, so I should be fine from here. 5, 10, and 1. Kind of an identical roll as for me, except the fact that I just got 4 and 10 and 1, which I thought was okay, I guess, but despite the fact that I did seem to able to get Luigi at the end, I guess, so. Excuse me, I got something in my throat there, so I do apologize for that. Because, unfortunately though, I somehow managed able to stumble across my croaky throat again, but I'm still fine as it is, so anyways, King of the Thrill. So last time we went to this minigame, we seemed able to lost so many times already, due to the faults of that particular kick attack already from the get-go kind of move. So what I'm gonna do this time is the fact that I have to be super smart with this, so. Alright, so bring it on, Wario. So in this case, let's wait. And now, there we go. That way, it'll actually work out, despite the fact that my partner Luigi just somehow got knocked out by Waluigi of all things. And this is what happens right there if you somehow manage to face off against with the last opponent at top. So basically it's the fact that you do the same thing, except every now and then the thing itself decides to crumble, just like in forms of how it does it on the bottom level, so. But luckily I finally managed to win King of the Thrill, so about time to able to actually finally win on this. I'm not gonna lie, a pretty cool minigame to play through, despite the fact that I've lost so many times in the past, so, but luckily, I win. Alright, so meanwhile, in the lucky route, as far as I'm on to right now, so. Alright, so let's go and get a 3. I think I might be alright with 3, personally, because obviously I might as well be still be safe in here. Oh yeah, I just realized I have too much candy, so let's get rid of the bullet candy, so. And I think fundamentally speaking, you can also decide to able to actually use your candies on these spots. Although, the only thing is worth noting for is the fact that in this board's case, basically you will bypass those specific freebie candies and stuff. Actually, kind of think about it, I think Waluigi might able to actually get his opportunity that he will able to, well, guaranteed to steal a star from, not only from Luigi, but from Wario as well. So that might be his good move, assuming if he's able to actually get himself his good rolls. In this case, he got 22. So in this case, though, the exact same number as in the actual current year. Despite the fact that, well, relatively speaking, that I'm referring to the shorter version of 2022. So that's what I was referring to. Although he doesn't catch up to Wario, though, but that's okay, because, well, relatively speaking, that he seemed to have himself a very good number at the very least for all these, you know, bullet candy usage and stuff. Alright, so it looks like Luigi's gonna use his twice candy right here, so hopefully that, although he got himself a very, very good roll. 9 and 5 makes 19, so... And he's gonna buy the Bowser candy, so I'm guessing he was probably gonna get himself a massive payback from the likes of Waluigi after when Waluigi just rolls very, very good. And he somehow managed to get rid of the bullet candy for some reason. Because, well, I just have no idea why he just gets rid of that. Okay, Wario, what are you gonna do? You get just a pretty low 1 number. So you know what that means? I'm guessing that about the fact that maybe potentially... Actually, I'm also able to guarantee to get Luigi until the next turn, because I can just simply use my Bowser candy so I can able to actually stomp him, and then basically I can able to get myself 2 stars, so... Alright, Treacherous Tightrope. I don't think we actually played this minigame ever since in, I would say, Goomba's Booty Boardwalk, at least as far as if I recall correctly. Well, mind you, about the fact it has been about... a couple of weeks ago, since I, last played, Goomba's Booty Boardwalk, but anyways, let's focus here. Gonna keep us nice and easy. It's gonna be so precious. And I win. Whew. That was a close one. Especially that if I was a bit too slow, then I won't be able to catch up. So, alright, I believe we are now on turn number 14. So, relatively speaking, that we pretty much almost done with this board. So, at the very least, that's something that's usually looking forward to for able to get, you know, conclusion at the end. So... Alright, time to use the Bowser candy, so I'm really hoping I can able to get myself some high rolls in particular. Although, the only questionable thing about this is that, well, I actually got 5 and a 6 makes 11, so let's hop in here. It's pretty weird that the Bowser suit can barely fit in that particular rocket. Anyway, so now we just head back into the actual board. So hopefully, I should get in. Although, that Luigi might classify for able to give me a massive payback later, so... Assuming if his turn comes into play, so... Or, if someone else managed able to land on the happening space, I should be fine. Well, except the fact that I usually need to be worried about... I'll go with ourselves a red space. That's, actually, couldn't think about it. I don't think I need to worry about this right now. Because Waluigi and Wario, they both don't have the actual blue-related candy or anything like that. Although, wait, I almost first thought he was going to use his Bowser candy so he can give the actual payback against me. Or maybe that he's probably going to give me a payback, but nope, he's probably going to use his Slogo candy for some reason. Computer AI can be really dumb at times, even especially noticeable just trying to use the correct items to have, but okay. Now, anticlimactic right there. And meanwhile for Wario, he's probably gonna go on to either left Alright. And he got himself the bullet candy. So let's see which way... Ah, he's going to the left. Oh boy, this could be a very tricky situation at this point, especially that since that Waluigi only has 1 star left. Ah, darn, a battle minigame again. I'm hoping this will not be a 50 coin battle minigame. I'm hoping not. Oh, somehow it's going to 30! Okay, 30 coin battle game as it commenced, so fair enough. Because obviously, unlike the 50 coin battle minigame, it's like insane if you ask me. Although luckily we did manage to play aim of the game, so I don't need to classify for worrying about this. Although we're going to be playing Glacial Meltdown again, so I'm hoping that this minigame does not drag on. So assuming if I was trying to able to be very careful not to able to fall into this little cold water, because, well, if I accidentally fell off, then I might as well say goodbye to some of my coins, so... But I'll try my best here. Alright. Oh, jeez. Yeah, because usually trying to jump on those Buzzy Beetles can be very wonky at times. But aside from all that stuff though, thus you need to deal with ice physics at times as well, so because of that, oh jeez, that actually gives me a massive knockback if you dare touch the actual Buzzy Beetle if the Buzzy Beetle shell has been launched. So, and there goes Wario, come on. Because obviously we don't want to let Wario get into like in a massive first place lead for the coins value and stuff like that, so... Oh, there it goes. Thankfully, it doesn't go nearly as long as I hope the water will be, so... I've no idea why I say something a little bit more gibberish about something, because, well, for some reason I somehow almost got distracted by my cookie throat at the moment, but luckily, as I said, I'm still fine as it is, but it's just the fact that it can be very annoying sometimes, even especially noticeable when I was trying to do my commentary and all that stuff though, it just feels a bit meh for the most part.
Wow.
Alright, let's see if I can get myself some good rolls here and there. Especially after the events of that atrocious rolls. Ah, darn it. 3 and 7. I guess that's okay, I guess. And, oh, I got Luigi, so nicely done there. And I think, oh, that's also a good thing as well, because I might as well be safe from here. Oh, wait a second. Wario somehow managed to got himself the bullet candy, so I might be considered trying to be worried about this at this point right now, so... Yeah, this is not looking that great, I guess, despite dice rolls coming to play, but... Nah. But good news, folks, is the fact that we're pretty much almost nearly at the end of this board, because, again, like I said this before, this appears to be my second least favorite board in terms of Mario Party 8, next to King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, because, well, usually for King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, like I said so many times already, that basically I'm not a big fan of the forms of the luck factor to it, with all that, well, traversing for its King Boo's haunted house and all that stuff, while the actual paths are entirely random. And on top of all that stuff though, in this board's case, I'm still not a big fan of the forms of the star stealing concept, because, well, relatively speaking, if you're falling for our... What? Okay, I almost first thought that he was probably going to use his bullet candy to able to not only demolish me, but also Waluigi as well, but apparently he's probably not going to use it. So what is up with computer players sometimes with all that, using certain items and all that stuff? Like, it just makes no sense to me. But anyway, because as far as I'm aware, if you're falling for our, you know, Let's Plays of, you know, Mario Party 6 and Mario Party 7, in particular for Snowflake Lake and Pyramid Park, you know exactly what I'm usually always talked about. Or actually, kind of thinking about it, that both Jewel and Ray both have already said this, because, well, relatively speaking, they're just not a big fan of the forms of that particular star-stealing mechanic gameplay style, because, well, relatively speaking, that's all there is to know. Alright, so Swing Kings again. So at least it doesn't matter to me anyway though, because after all I've already got myself a new record ever since in Cooper's Tycoon Town and all that jazz. So we can able to appreciate about the fact that it doesn't matter if we're able to mess it up or anything else to be more specific. So oh yeah, something was worth mentioning though is the fact that I can't even believe that it's been almost like 9 years ago since when Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games on the Wii U first announced back in the forms of in 2013 on May 17th or something like this. Because I know for the fact that a lot of people seem to have a lot of, let's just say like skeptical or skepticism for, you know, with that particular game in mind, because it plays out exactly like the, you know, the one on the Wii for the Vancouver 2010 one. Because, although accept the fact it's in HD, so, anyway. Last 5 turns, so, yeah, we're getting pretty close, folks, until we're basically done with all of the boards from not only from Mario Party 8, but the majority of the forms of the Hudson Soft Mario Party titles. Well, at least for our Let's Plays department. Well, because I know for the fact that, like I said, that we've already done Mario Party DS ever since in 2016, despite cut-off commentary on the halfway point on let's say Wiggler's Garden board and all the other jazz. So alright, so looks like Waluigi got himself the Dulo candy because, well, we're going back into in the last 5 turn events. That's basically we're able to expect that we'll see the 4th player or the 4th place player receives the actual Dulo candy ever since in DK's Treetop Temple and Goober's Booty Boardwalk, King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, and Shy Guy's Perplexed Express. Because like I said, ever since about a week ago, that the reward on the forms of Cooper's Tycoon Town is a bit different, because obviously it's all about investing and stuff like that. So as a result, you get 30 coins, so... Oh yeah, I should probably also mention about something as well, I guess, is the fact that if you ever played on Star Battle Arena, on the forms of, not only for the sake of the forms of any map, but also get this, is the fact that if you ever, well let's just say, if you ever played a dual battle mode, or especially noticeable with the Star Battle Arena, like I said, if someone is actually a little bit behind for specifically with all these winning conditions, basically MC Ballyhoo to somehow send you to the very beginning of the board on the starting location, and then basically you get yourselves a special bonus. Like sometimes it can either be the majority of the time candies, or some other times you're able to actually stumble across to get yourselves some coins potentially, at least as far as I can recall that correctly. So alright, so looks like Waluigi's probably dueling against with Wario after all, because obviously Wario was in 2nd place, and so far I've got myself 11 stars so far, and it looks like that Waluigi has none of his stars at all, so yeah, I guess that seems very unlucky on his part. And it looks like that both Wario and Waluigi are both playing Lob to Rob again. Except the fact that Wario is going to be able to compete against with Waluigi this time, as opposed to Blooper. And I believe last time that both Wario and Blooper both have managed to get a draw from last time, because of that one in particular last shot, that as soon as the time ends, so, or specifically the timer just somehow ended off, so... Yeah, I guess that makes it totally obvious about the fact that with all that crazy matches has been going on for the sake of the forms of, you know, certain minigames in Mario Party 8, so... Anyway, so let's see whoever's gonna win this time. It will not be any draws or anything else to be more specifically anytime soon, because it looks like so far, Waluigi was in the lead so far, and... oh jeez, I think Wario might able to get the victory out of it. Because of that particular green mushroom that he just somehow hit, so... or, should I say, if I like to call it, a one-up mushroom, because the red mushroom is just a super mushroom, so... maybe I'm just somehow referring to that. Oh yeah, I should probably also mention about this, I guess, anyway, is the fact that I'm guessing it's kind of like, the similar kind of thing. Like, even though it's hard to explain, Because I know for the fact that it has been a while since I actually mentioned something related to, like, defender or attacker. So, yeah, I have no idea why to somehow bring that up. Because, well, I keep on referring to for the likes of Pac-Man Party somehow. But I digress. So it looks like Luigi gets a 3, so... And I think for the most part, that both Waluigi and Luigi so far have managed able to get lower amounts of stars. Or to be more specifically, Waluigi has no longer have any stars whatsoever. So in this case though, Luigi might able to actually lose another star due to Wario somehow managed able to get a very alright number roll, and please don't tell me he's gonna get me. Well, there goes my another star, so it's basically a tight neck-to-neck between both me and Wario at the moment when it comes to star values. Well, luckily for me, I still got tons of coins thanks to that, you know, the 50 coin battle minigame and all that stuff. It's pretty crazy if you ask me. Alright, so 4-player minigame, we know what to expect. And let's see what minigame are we playing next. Shake it up again! I think this is our 6th time playing this minigame, although don't get me wrong, I don't mind it. But sometimes though it gets a bit of a repetition and stuff like that for the sake of repetitive minigames we keep playing. Although I don't mind about it too much because those minigames in this game, sometimes it can be fun, while most of the time, usually with all that control issues sometimes, and then, well, it's hard to explain. Dang, it looks like it's almost getting pretty close. But I somehow still managed to conquer my victory. In terms of likely shaking the soda so many times. So anyway, 239 coins I've got right now. That seems, you know, quite a lot. Especially noticeable. Hopefully that might be my opportunity that I can able to actually spend on something for the sake of the forms of the candy shops and stuff. Alright, so I got a 6. So, well, that leads me to something good. Oh, speaking of such, it did lead me to something good. To be more specifically, with the happening space. So I should be able to try to avoid Wario as much as I can. So, anyways, let's purchase that, the Bowser candy, as you saw earlier ago. And hopefully I should be able to get 20 coins back after purchasing that Bowser candy, pretty much. Looking good so far as first place as far as this is concerned. Even if we're able to actually stumble across into ourselves some occasional bad rolls here and there, but the majority of the time every now and then that I somehow managed able to get myself some very good dice rolls here and there all of a sudden, like keeping me safe away from I actually gotta think about it. I don't need to worry about this because obviously Wario no longer has any blue candies and stuff like that, even though Luigi somehow managed able to get himself the blue candy. So my guess it will be bullet candy or Bowser candy, or it might not likely gonna be a duo candy or anything else like that. So anyway, so it looks like we're gonna get our coins taken thanks to Luigi's dart skill by aiming for 10 coins. So, and exponentially, he'll get himself 30 coins. Yeah, that seems totally a lot for that particular number of coins that he's been having. And speaking of such, he paid 10 coins to buy, as that appears to be, another vampire candy. Seriously, he likes those candies so much. Like, I have no idea what's up with that. But anyway, so it looks like Luigi once again... I actually gotta think about it. I think, I don't know about if Luigi might be able to land on so many happening spaces, even though, mind you, I've actually recently lost track of myself for that, happening spaces so far. But, we'll see what happens, assuming if the bonus stars will come in, so... So it looks like we've switched directions now, so, I might be alright with this, because I think I'm almost quite near to where Luigi was. Although, mind you, I haven't exactly paid attention to the map just yet, though. But anyways, it looks like Warrior's gonna land on the blue space. Oh yeah, something's worth mentioning is the fact that with the forms of the space shapes, that I suppose I forgot to mention about, ever since and during the course of the majority of the game's Let's Play so far with Mario Party 8, that we already know for the fact that in DK's Treetop Temple, that basically does the fact that the space's shape is actually more accurately like a cuboid, or in some cases though like a square space shape. Well, usually except the fact that it's all like 3D and stuff like that for like cuboid or a cube in some cases. Whilst new forms within Goomba's Booty Boardwalk that basically has like flat square spaces to make it more accurately like a similar kind of shape as new forms of how it does it on certain game boards like well, you know, with the forms of Monopoly and all that stuff, like usually except the fact that we have to go and traverse for this linear board. So, now as far as King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, despite it still is my least favorite board in that game, or specifically in this game in particular, that at the very least the actual space shape is actually a square again, except it kind of reminds me of the forms of the gravestone version of, let's just say like a gravestone equivalent kind of shape, from the likes of in Mario Party 7's space shape design, except the fact that it's almost inspired by like haunted themed or something. And for the likes of the forms of Shy Guy's Perplex Express, the actual space shape is actually forms of the circle ever since in Mario Party 1 all the way up to Mario Party 5 and before Mario Party 9 and Mario Party 10. So, oh, and also Island Tour as well. So, yeah, I can totally respect that. And also, I'm going back into the happening space again, so I can able to expect to get, what else, even more coins from here. Although, the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the fact that if Luigi decides to able to actually use his candy, or Wario in some cases, so that's the only thing I'm a little bit anxious about. But we'll see. Alright, so Waluigi gets an 8. And he lands on the blue space. Okay, kind of think about it, this will be the last time we're going to be seeing the actual coins and coin bags pop up every once in a while for the actual main boards, because obviously this is the final board in the game, so at the very least that's we can able to expect to see, well, because this particular event with all that champ charity, with all that, you know, coins pop up in every single portions of the space, that basically is the fact that, well, it does almost remind me like a new Super Mario Bros. 2 inspired kind of things itself, I guess. So it looks like Luigi somehow only got Wario, which is good for me, because I'm somehow in the lead. At least for now, anyway. And somehow Luigi lands on the red space, so kind of unfortunate on his part. And once again, somehow Wario just somehow decided to able to use a different candy instead of the actual Bowser candy or a bullet candy. I can't really tell what the actual visual stands for, but I digress. And he got another Twice candy as well, so gee, what is up with Twice candies? Always somehow magnetically attracted to, you know, the greediest and richest guy in the world. Well, at least in terms of the Nintendo universe, anyway. Oh yeah, something's worth mentioning is the fact that much like the Dulo candy, I think I've mentioned about this, I guess, although I probably will say this just in case, for those of you who have missed any details, that, yeah, much like the Dulo candy, if you get any doubles or triples, for the sake of the forms of not only, if you get the exact same number of double numbers, like let's just say if you got double 7s, if you somehow use the Bowser candy, I don't think you can win anything. And same applies to the bullet candy, where if you get like 3 7s in a row, for the bullet candy, you also don't get anything, so only the forms of the Twice candy and the Thrice candy can give you something, including the biggest reward. If you, again, if you aim for lucky 7s, you go and get yourselves 100 coins, as opposed to 50, unlike the other games, so seems like a massive reward if you accomplish that, so alright, picture perfect again. Seriously, how many times we play this minigame? Sometimes it can be kind of repetitive, especially noticeable. You have to do the exact same stuff over and over again. And most of the time, that computer AI can sometimes mess you up sometimes with all that. Selecting the wrong panel sometimes. But luckily, it seems it's all go fine and dandy and everything. So, at least I still somehow win somehow. Good job, Wario and Waluigi. I both appreciate about the fact that with all that teamwork effort you did. At least to be more specifically with all that, well, yeah, it's hard to explain. Alright, last 2 turns left now, so relatively speaking, we are getting close. We're getting close, folks. We are getting very close. So, yeah, it's about time for me to use the Bowser Candy, the mightiest item of all things. So hopefully, I should able to get myself Luigi, for able to actually just to get 2 stars from him, so... Oh, 10, that's actually really good. And 7, also very good. So that pretty much leads me to 17. So that way, in addition to getting Luigi, I think I'm also get Wario as well. So, yeah, there goes the actual, the stomping maneuvering. So, that pretty much gives me to, quite a lot of stars as in a lead. Well, to be more specifically, every now and then right now, a 7-star lead. So, yeah, top notch, and pretty cool at the same time. Now, let's just hope if Waluigi might classify for able to land on the happening space. I'm pretty darn sure about that. Oh, close, because obviously he was off by 1 to able to land on a happening space. Oh, wait a second. I'm pretty sure that Wario might able to actually just to get the star back, so... I might be alright with this, especially noticeable because, well, relatively speaking about the fact that, well, as long as I'm still pretty much in a massive lead at the moment, at least I'm doing pretty well when it comes to certain dice rolls every now and then, unlike the beginning portion or sometimes in the middle, that usually most of the time I always get some very rough around the edges rolls, or to be more specifically, some very stupid number of rolls as far as I keep getting and stuff. Alright, so it looks like Luigi just somehow got 30 coins, again. Because I'm pretty sure he really wants to boost up the forms of the entirety of his coins value. And speaking of such, he got the bullet candy, so... In fact, this will actually be the last time we're going to be seeing the candies in this particular game. Because, well, it's only Mario Party DS roll around that the items have now become like hex and stuff like that. And as far as Mario Party 9 is concerned, basically we'll stumble across different types of dice blocks, and same applies to Mario Party 10. And before Mario Party Island Tour, and same applies to Star Rush and the Top 100, including buddy forms of Super and Superstars, we're going back into its traditional item selections again, despite the fact that we will be missing our old style of items and stuff like that, so... But I digress. So it looks like Wario is the only one matched able to get me, so because of that though he got only 1 star back, so I might be alright with this. Especially noticeable, well, despite the fact that he did also attack Waluigi, but he has no stars at the moment, and same applies to Luigi as well. So yeah, I might be alright with this, we're able to actually just only lose 1 star, but that's okay by me, so... Seriously, I just get this feeling about the fact that much like Koopa's Tycoon Town board, that it seems that we keep on playing most of those 1 vs 3 minigames most of the time. Like, I know for the fact that we just really hoping that we can able to play the last 2 minigames from the likes of 2 vs 2 variety, but apparently we keep on getting 1 vs 3 sometimes. Anyways, no way out, and this time I'm going to be aiming the shots. So in this case though, let's go ahead and freeze up not only, well, let's just say, Luigi right here, and also Waluigi, and finally Wario. So hopefully we can able to just freeze them up. Come on, there he goes. It feels like I was been playing Rio, the video game, all over again, except, well, like I said before, that this minigame does remind me of the forms of that minigame from Rio, the video game, except the fact that the only difference is involves around the 4-player type minigames as opposed to 1 vs 3. So, And also, not to mention though, no need for motion controls or anything else to be more specific, so... Alright, so 7 to end things off, and yeah, there's no point buying these buying the shops again. And here's the forms of the happening space I was telling you about. So basically, it functions kind of like the same thing as the forms of how it does it on the Chemic Capsule event from Mario Party 5. That basically it somehow shuffles around every candy. So I can't tell that what specific candy I've got. So my guess is the fact that I got the candy from someone, to be more specifically either Luigi or anything else like that. So okay, so it looks like Waluigi for some reason decides to able to use the vampire candy at the end. So I almost first thought he's probably going to be able to use one of his blue candies, but apparently he doesn't. So I have no idea why they just put up with like that stuff. And also I just realized about the fact that we have not seen that much of the Ouija candy or any other candies for that matter, for the sake of the forms of bit-sized candy or anything else like that to be found on this board so far. Oh, now he got to 1, but what's the point anyway, because this is the last turn in this board, so every once in a while it's time for the actual runaway again. Except the fact that I don't get involved. So in this case, both Wario and Waluigi are both getting chased by Bowser. In fact, kind of thinking about it, it does remind me of that one particular opening cinematic scene from the likes of not only Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, but also with the forms of Mario Power Tennis as well, I guess. So yeah, it does remind me of those old days. Especially noticeable that it kind of feels a bit shallow in the later games every now and then, because I know for the fact that usually Camelot that decided able to actually reuse the exact same lines from exactly, well, let's just say for example in Mario Tennis Aces, that usually, oh, Luigi got screwed again. Well, despite the fact it's not gonna harm him or anything, because obviously much like, let's say, you know, like I said, ever since in King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, as well as the forms of Shy Guy's Perplexed Express, if you don't have any stars with you, Bowser will give you 10 coins, so as a like a freebie helpful kind of reward, I guess. So anyway, because usually, relatively speaking, on that particular new opening cutscene for that particular update Smash able to release ever since in 2019, that for some reason Camelot decided able to reuse the exact same line as in new forms of in Mario Power Tennis, in Mario Tennis Mario Tennis Aces. I keep thinking about the pretty bare bones Wii U game, so I digress. So yeah, with that, usually because Waluigi did say he walks funny at Bowser, which it makes sense in Mario Power Tennis, because Bowser decides to able to walk very funny and stuff like that, but it makes no sense in Mario Tennis Aces, because if he says that line while Wario and Waluigi are digging up for treasure and stuff like that, that makes no sense for that dialogue. And speaking of no sense at all, that at the very end of that particular, you know, in Mario Tennis Aces opening cutscene, with the actual update and stuff like that, they just somehow, for some reason, reused the actual Luigi voice clip based off of Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. And that just makes no sense, because with that lip syncing in mind, that what the hell was that? So, yeah, I just have no idea why they managed able to bring that idea to able to reuse the exact same lines from the past Mario games. I mean, I just have no idea. Anyway, Paint's misbehaving, so yeah, we pretty much dominated. Especially noticeable, we are the Mario Bros. I've no idea why I'm saying things a little bit awkwardly at this point today, because aside from all that stuff I just mentioned, about the fact that I'm about to be prepared to watch Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which like I said, I'm really looking forward to tonight, but exponentially speaking, that's as far as I can say. Especially noticeable with that conversations in mind. So with that, we're basically done with all of the boards in Mario Party 8. I will say, all of the boards in this game are pretty solid, with only 2 bottom of the barrel aside. That being the forms of not only King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, but also Bowser's Warped Orbit. So, In this case though, time for bonus stars. So in this case though, let's see what bonus stars they'll bring us. Candy star, I don't know who's gonna get this though. Mind you, I didn't exactly use too much candy, so in this case, Luigi definitely gets the candy star, so... Wait, couldn't think about it. I think I actually did use occasional candies for using not only the bullet candy, but also Bowser candy as well. Green star, that'll be me, because I land on so many of those happening spaces, which is pretty cool on my part, especially noticeable, like, you know, I somehow managed able to escape sometimes for certain situations. And lastly, the shopping star will be me, because obviously I paid so many coins, so I can able to buy not only the Bowser candy, but most of the time some useful items here and there. But I guess the winner in Bowser's Warped Orbit, and also the winner of the entirety of Mario Party 8, you know exactly if you're falling for that particular Let's Play so far, is none other than me. 6-0 itself. Well, to be more specifically, 6-0, so no losses whatsoever on my part. Yes, you are, Mario. You are the superstar indeed. Especially noticeable, you're the most important video game character of all time, next to Pac-Man, Mega Man, and of course Sonic the Hedgehog. So, anyway, so let's see what's in its detailed results here. 336 of my coins for the minigame star. Yeah, that seems definitely quite a lot. 85 coins I've spent, and oh, I was off by 1 candy left. So, yeah, it's a good thing that Luigi did somehow use the last candy on the last turn. And I'm guessing that both Bowser candy and Bullet candy does technically count for the running star, I guess? Well, I haven't exactly paid attention to it. And yeah, I could have got the red star if the red star comes into play. But I landed on 10 of those happening spaces. That seems quite a lot. And me and Wario are the only ones landing on the lucky space. And same applies to the DK space as well. But Luigi lands on a Bowser space twice. Jeez, that sounds pretty painful if you ask me. So, and I think this will be the last time we're going to be seeing the lucky space at this point. Well, before when Mario Party 9 did manage to bring back the lucky space, but it acted out very differently. So, with that being said though, we got the ending solved at this point right here. So join me next weekend for more of Let's Play of Mario Party 8. And that is the fact that we'll start to show off some of these extra stuff. And to begin with, let's go and play some tons of mini games in Minigame 10, shall we? So I'll see you guys next weekend. Later, fellas.